What does it take to heal a wound carved by a father's cold words when you're only 5 years old? At that tender age, I learned the weight of loss and the sting of dismissal. My name is Clara, and this is the story of how I turned pain into purpose, making my father face the regret he never saw coming. I was 5 when Mom died. Cancer stole her in months, leaving me with fragments of her warmth, her soft lullabies, her lavender scent, her gentle hands braiding my hair. I clung to those memories, crying into her old scarf at night. But Dad couldn't stand it. One evening, as sobs shook my tiny frame, he loomed over me, his voice sharp as a blade. "Stop crying over her, Clara. She's gone. Move on." His words froze me. I was 5, and my grief was branded a weakness. Dad was a man of steel, practical, unyielding. He worked long hours at the factory, providing for us, but leaving little room for softness. After Mom's death, our home became a silent battlefield. I learned to swallow my tears, to hide my pain. But the ache for Mom never faded. It grew roots, deep and unyielding, shaping me in ways Dad couldn't see. By 16, I was a quiet storm. I excelled in school, driven by a fire I didn't fully understand. I wanted to be someone Mom would have been proud of, someone Dad couldn't dismiss. I studied art, her passion, sketching her face from memory in secret notebooks. Each stroke was a rebellion against Dad's command to forget. He'd glance at my drawings and grunt, "Waste of time." But I saw Mom in every line, her smile guiding me forward. At 20, I left home for college, chasing a dream to become an artist. Dad scoffed, calling it impractical, but I didn't care. I worked nights, saved every penny, and poured my soul into my work. My paintings told stories of loss, love, and resilience, each one a tribute to Mom. By 25, I'd earned a small following, my art shown in local galleries. Yet Dad never came to a single show. "You're still chasing ghosts," he'd say over the phone, his voice heavy with disdain. The turning point came at 28. I was invited to exhibit at a prestigious gallery in Chicago. The centerpiece was a painting called Lavender Memory, a vivid portrait of Mom, her eyes radiant with life, surrounded by soft purples and golds. It was my heart on canvas, a love letter to her and a defiance of Dad's words. I sent him an invitation, not expecting him to show. But he did. The gallery buzzed with people, but when Dad walked in, the world stilled. He stood before Lavender Memory, his face unreadable. I watched from across the room, my heart pounding. Minutes passed before he turned to me, his eyes glistening. "Clara," he whispered, voice breaking, "I was wrong." He told me then, in halting words, how Mom's death had shattered him too. He'd buried his grief in silence, thinking strength meant erasing pain. My tears at 5 had terrified him, a reminder of his own vulnerability. He thought telling me to stop crying would protect me, but it had driven a wedge between us. Seeing my art, Mom's face alive again, broke something open in him. For the first time, he saw Minute as a child to be molded, but as a woman who'd turned loss into beauty. I could have lashed out, let years of hurt spill over. Instead, I took his hand. "I painted her for both of us," I said. We stood there, two broken souls finding a fragile peace. My art had done what words never could. It made him feel Mom's presence, and his own regret. That night, Dad stayed until the gallery closed. We talked about Mom, about her laugh, her love for lilacs, her dreams for me. For the first time, I saw him cry. It wasn't weakness, it was humanity. My paintings had given us a bridge back to each other, built on the love we both carried for her. Now, at 28, I'm not just an artist. I'm a storyteller of the heart. My work honors Mom, but it also speaks to anyone who's carried grief in silence. Dad comes to every show now, quiet but present, learning to embrace the emotions he once pushed away. My art taught him what I couldn't at 5, that love, even through loss, is never a weakness. It's the strength that carries us forward, together.